And welcome back, everybody, to Gears Pro League Split 1, day number 9. I'm Taylor Reflections. I'm joined by Guy Blaze. We're hopping into our second series, and this is going to be a good one. Rebel playing against eUnited. Blaze, at the beginning of the Pro League qualifiers, these guys were always going at it. And even the original E-Days, right before we started our Split 1 of E-Days, they were going at it. And now, once again, they finally meet each other in the Pro League.
Man, and you know what? In the last week of the Pro League at that, so it's great to really kind of see everything in which they've learned over the previous 4 weeks and, you know, bring that all together in this series, because I feel like when it comes down towards eUnited these last few weeks, they've been getting better, but also in the flip end, you see the matchup that Rebel had last week, they've been looking good as well. And Taylor, this roster is not nothing to mess around with.
Oh, not at all. Rebel's been looking scary. The fact that they beat Pioneers was incredible. Let's talk about these guys. They ended up bringing in Sumuns, and I gotta say, they haven't looked back since. They've been looking incredible with him. Demon, obviously, back on this roster, too. Kraken Identities, the constants for Rebel, pretty much throughout all of the phases and seasons, and you put them all together, and you just have pure success. Rebel, at this point, is looking the scariest they've looked in quite some time.
Yeah, nah, they have, you know, and you know, we've been in a COVID season, but you know, shout out to the guy who be putting all the graphics work, seeing on these player profile pics, because these boys they had the same jerseys on for a long time, okay? But we shift them in colors, all right?
Yes, we do.
we shift them in colors across the board. I think that's a Ghost Gaming jersey that Identities has on there. I don't know, it's old school, but you know, but I just wanted to say that. But when it comes down to the team, Taylor. All-star lineup though, because as we said it before, with them getting Demon back and then adding Sumuns to the team, they got that slaying power, and they got themselves a player on the map who you always have to keep your eye on, who your opponent is always thinking about. And you got one of the most patient players, one of the best anchors in the game, and Sumuns, who always knows where to be for his teammates to be successful. He's not trying to take the spotlight. He's just trying to make sure the squad is successful. That with the vets of Identities and Crack, you got Rebel, boy. And so far, with them in eUnited, I think they have the hardest schedule to end this league. They both play each other, and then Rebel has to play Rise tomorrow, and eUnited has to play Noble. So they win those matches. Both these teams here, both are 5-2. One is about to get their 3rd loss. But when it comes down towards the big matches in which they have to play tomorrow and how they affect the standings, it's huge.
United is going to be opposite of Rebel this time around. They also made some changes, much like Sumuns obviously joining that of Rebel. This time around, Powerz and Kenny, again, the constants for EU, but they add in TJ and Demise. These guys, you know, I don't know, they had some adjusting, I guess you could say. They look great during the Pro League qualifiers. Then they had that moment where they started looking a little bit rough, but man, now they look fantastic. And I must say, this is where eUnited needs to look good. Heading into the major, there's going to be a ton of eyes on them, a big fan base, and a lot of fans want to see this team win.
Oh, they definitely do. They definitely want to see them win. You know, you got this duo over here in Powerz and Kenny who three-peated, I want to say, when Gears first dropped. Okay, they three-peated together. Also on the flip end, you know, you got TJ and Demise, the best 2v2 Astro battle duo that we didn't had over the last few splits, the most winningest duo. Okay,
yeah.
So 2 talented duos teaming together on eUnited. You know, it makes for a successful combination, and they all know each other's role in that team. We know that TJ and Powerz, when it comes down to them together, they're the tips of the spear, okay? You know, they're the pitchfork right there. You don't want to have to mess with them. And, you know, you got Kenny and Demise supporting behind them, who also goes off. And I don't want to, when I say Kenny and Demise supporting behind them, they're not always supporting.
Sure.
You know, Demise consistently puts out the most damage on the team. And Kenny, we've seen him come out MVP multiple times over these last 2 weeks, getting this squad off to the start in which they need to be successful there towards the back end of the map. So I'm excited to see how eUnited is going to peak over these next 2 weeks. And this series is going to tell us a lot.
It's going to tell us a lot. We hyped up Sumuns, and for good reason. Let's continue to hype him up, Blaze. Sumuns is going to be our player to watch for this series. And I got to say, man, this guy is incredible. Now, the stats on the board, you know, looking a bit like, all right, you know, nothing special here, but the stats don't tell the full story, do they?
Nah, they don't tell the full story indeed, especially when it comes down to it. Now, Sumuns in his positioning, you know, he's going to be your 1v1 expert. He's going to be the guy in the back lines. Very rarely you'll see him in a front spawn situation having to go in and start that fight. So, you know, what's most important is his damage. You know, he's putting out 100 damage on average for the respawns, and you need that consistently for him. But the thing is is that, like, you know, when your teammates are like grabbing all the kills,
that's true.
Not much you can do. You know, when Crack and Demon is doing a lot of that work on the front, you just need to, you know, shoot your shot, mark, and be a great anchor, right? Be a great teammate for them. And then sometimes when they lose those fights on the forefront, you're by yourself. And you have to do your best staying alive. So his positioning isn't going to have him having flashy numbers in a stat line, but they are still good numbers.
Great numbers for what Sumuns does. Sumuns is an integral part to Rebel, and I love his addition here. Ever since then, I'm telling you, Rebel has looked the scariest they've looked in a long time, and I'm going to like to watch them in this series. Let's take a look at our maps, though, Blaze, and see what we're going to be rolling with and be able to tell more of a story. Ritual Control to start off. Man, that's scary. Last time I seen Rebel play on Ritual, Crack was tearing it up. He ended up getting, I think, one play in the top 5 plays. I think it was either number 1 or number 2, but regardless, though, Blaze, Crack and Torquebow go hand in hand, and Ritual is a beautiful combination.
It is a beautiful combination, and I gotta say that when it comes down to the combination of this map cycle, you know, I favor maps 2 and 5 a lot for Rebel. Sorry, not 2 and 5, 3 and 5. The Training Grounds Escalation, the Clocktower Execution, I like those a lot for Rebel, but they got to get there, right? I think eUnited could win. Well, I think they could win it in 3-1, win it within 4 maps the way this is looking, but there's still a lot to talk about. And I will say the fact that Rebel is picking Ritual Control to kick off this series, it shows that they got a lot of confidence there. And that's a map in which you want to be really good in going into that major.
You definitely do. Now, one concern that I do have, despite Crack and all his flashy plays with the Torquebow, is last time I did watch, or not the last time, the last time I watched them, they did play against Elevate, and they lost 300 to 242 to Elevate on that map. And I don't know the series and the layout, at least for Emergence Days. It was Emergence Days Season 4 split 1 week number 3. eUnited and Rebel met off against each other in round 1, Blaze, and it was a pretty distinct 3-0 victory for eUnited. So no competition there. That was the last time they met a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure tonight's going to be much different, the fact that it's Pro League. But regardless, though, Rebel has been kind of tapering off as of recently. I still think they're scary. Again, they beat Pioneers. Like that tells me everything I need to know of how good Rebel can really be. We just need to see it tonight against eUnited. And I know for sure they want to beat them.
Yeah, they definitely do. They definitely do. And they can do it. It just comes down to them being focused for the series tonight. And also on the flip end, you know, eUnited, I'm curious to see what they're going to bring to the table. You know, they are the type where they know that if they're about to play a squad close to the major, they'll switch up a few things, okay? You know, they'll throw in a few maps just to see how it's going to work against them. You know, they may change up some strategies. You know, they like to try things around this time just so that, you know, they're not, they're not going, not 100%, but they're at 90 in our major, right? Because if you're going at 100% right now with 2 weeks of the major being out and you're taking L's, and you're like, bro, at 100%, can we do it?
Yeah.
You know, like that's how players think. That's how I would think, you know, like at 100% today, man, can we do it or not? Like I will still be trying to, especially if there's not that much money on the line, still be trying to throw up some curveballs per matchup basis. And you know what? Let's try this map against them and just see how it's going to work out.
Yeah, I mean, make no mistake about it. They're not going to be doing too much testing here, but they definitely might throw some curveballs out there, and it would be fun to see. So I do like Tomb as map number 2, more so for eUnited, and the reason why Kenny has been so good on that map. I've been a big fan of Kenny as of recently. He's been playing exceptionally well, whether it be the stats. You mentioned it best, right? I mean, he's been MVP multiple times when eUnited's playing, so Kenny's going to be great on that map. Powerz is most likely going to be hugely instrumental on Ritual. Training Grounds, though, going to be a lot of fun because you said Rebels the favorite there. I agree with you. eUnited's definitely had their struggles on that map specifically. But enough about that. Let's talk about who we think is the favorite team. Let's do our predictions, Blaze. And I started last time, so Blaze, what headed to you to start this time?
Well, you know, when it comes down to these two teams, Taylor, Rebel and eUnited, you know, ever since they had to qualify through the LCQ, they have showed us a lot with these new rosters. And they have shown us that they are championship caliber rosters. And I love what I've seen out of Rebel as of late. You know, like you said, they took down the Pioneers. They won some big matches. And they still got 2 hard ones left to go. But with that being said, I just feel like I'm gonna have to lean in favor of eUnited for this series. Reason being, I love how eUnited prepares for their matches, and I just feel like they're gonna have a leg up against this Rebel team. But it's close. It's really like for me, the way that Rebels been both these squads been playing lately, it's like a 55-45 for me. As far as like where I want to lean in favor towards today, but I just think eUnited is going to be the better squad.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to echo that. I'm going with the United here. And the reason why is, I wanted to go with Rebel. I agree with you 100%. I think this is going to be incredibly close. You like to throw out your percentages, okay? And 55-45, I believe you, okay? I'm not good at math, though, so it sounds close to me anyways. Rebel is a team that can very well beat anybody. They already beat Pioneers. Again, that tells me everything I need to know. But as of recently, they definitely have been looking a bit off, maybe sluggish. I don't know what's going on with them. I think if they do play at that caliber where they beat Pioneers, they can beat eUnited tonight. But over the past couple of weeks, they've been looking a little off. And eUnited hasn't been. They've been looking really, really good. So that's why I think eUnited is going to be the favorite here. They beat them in E-Days 3-0. Rebel also took a loss earlier too. So I think this is going to be pretty positive for EU. Chat, who are you going with, eUnited or Rebel? Now, this is where things get interesting because I could see them going Rebel for sure. And they will be going Rebel.
Ooh.
Latin America backs up Latin America all day.
Okay, wow. Chat had a 51-49 differential. Okay,
wow,
out there
close.
On who was going to win that one. Only by 1,000 channel points, the Rebel overtake eUnited. Okay, only by 1,000. That's how close the series is going to be. All right.
Yeah.
But I will say that I'm scared of Rebel suffering similar to kind of like the issues that Elevate had in that last series. Just you could start off strong, but how you close it out is going to be super important. Okay. You can, have every other letter in that alphabet. You can have, the T for team fights, the D for getting dominations. But if you ain't got the ABCs and you ain't closing, you ain't crossing, hey, it ain't gonna work out for you, buddy.
You should write a Gears children's book of how to, teaching them the ABCs, but related to Gears.
A fundamental for each one.
Fundamentals for each one, and just release it. I think it'd be a hit, plays, and
I think it would be.
I think it'd be good. You should definitely try it, brother. I'll narrate it for you if you need somebody too. No, I won't. Honestly, I wouldn't do it justice. Blaze, you would be a fantastic children book narrator. I don't know, it's awkward to say, but I don't know any other way to say it.
I think I auditioned for a children's cooking show one time, and I felt like I really did it. Yeah, I feel like I could have been the Steve of Blue's Clues for cooking.
Yo, could you? Hey, hold up, chat. Could you imagine Blaze as Steve from Blue's Clues? Hey guys, I got a clue.
I can do it.
Oh, yo, man. You threw me for a loop on that one, man.
Steve threw us all for a loop, okay? When he randomly just
came
back up on the timeline.
Hey, I'm here, guys. What's up?
Talking about I miss y'all and
whatever. It's been a decade.
Good. But man, forget you, Steve.
My life was never the same after you left me, man.
Okay? All right? If anyone ain't never had their dad left them, okay, Steve is the closest thing to that.
Dang,
all right?
Man.
Steve walked out on us.
Went for milk and never came back. All right.
Yeah,
United
he
Rebel.
walked out on us.
Map number 1. It's looking good for Rebel, but Demise is looking to even up things, and he's got the back of Demon, takes him down. Kenny will get the pickup, but Crack gets the finish, and Kenny, he's forced to retreat, and that's going to be the end of that engagement, at least for a little bit, because Crack's got the torque bow, and he is going to be raining down hell. He did it before. I know he can do it again. Rebel gets the first points, but make no mistake, eUnited, they're going to make one more attempt.
Now, eUnited, as they're moving in, they got one player got down, but they were able to force back Crack. Sumuns will get angled out unless the bow can be able to get a kill. He will get one. Misses the second on Demise, but this is still a 2v2 fight. Does he not see Powerz? He does at the last second. The splash damage is there, but Crack disengages. There's the down, there's the rest, there's the capture, and now eUnited rotating for next.
Rotating for next. eUnited knows, look, that first hill, it was scuffed up. It is what it is. Now, one benefit is I think Crack might be out of bolts. If he's not, he's going to be close to it. So you don't have to worry about the torque bow anymore. So for eUnited, if they establish themselves here strong on the next, they're going to be sitting pretty, and Rebel is going to have to just honestly push in and try and muscle their way through. So things could get a little bit interesting off the second hill for Rebel. They can take a considerable lead if they're able to get the break. And this is going to be telling, too, if Rebel breaks this defensive setup easily, eUnited could be in a little bit of trouble, but here it is. Good line of sight for TJ, and he's going to get the finish onto one, and that's going to make Crack as well as Sumuns up ahead feel uncomfortable for pushing forward.
Oh boy, as Powerz moves up, he's looking to take out Demon, but Demon will put him to the grave. But that was a great hold from eUnited. That double down that they got in the back, what can they do with that? As they're trying to clean up the kills, they lose multiple players. That's a team wipe. 4 down. Rebel, they're 4 alive. No one died in that engagement, and now they'll have a setup. 32 seconds for Nade, 16 seconds for Torque Bow. Kenny's gonna call for help. Him and Teach are gonna work together to try to get this. It will be a 2v2 fight on both sides of the map.
2v2, as you mentioned before, the hill in control of Rebel momentarily. I'm curious when Powerz and Demise decide to push in, because this fight on the opposite is going to be one from eUnited, so there's going to be a lot of pressure on Identives and Demon to hold their ground, but they're doing a great job with the Lancer Fire, at least off that off angle for Identives. But either way, they know the forces from eUnited are going to push in, but great teamwork as a whole, man. Oh. But is it going to be enough? eUnited, they will prosper and push in and get the final couple of points, and I do mean the final couple of points. They can't stay there long.
Yeah, they can't stay there long at all. But look at the rotation. They will be able to get the rotation towards next. Rebel, they're grouped up, but they're not getting positioning. So eUnited, they're still in the best spot to really win this fight, having 4 bows left in that torque. Oh, the flank is there. TJ side rolls, takes a lot of damage, cancels that. I love the decision making for him, because if he goes in there for that back A, he is as good as dead. Now he just needs to connect with some of these bows. Maybe can he save Kenny's life? Not just yet. Kenny still fighting. Oh, no. He's taken out.
Oh, he's definitely taken down. Tough break for him, but Rebel continues to get richer. eUnited obviously trying to catch up. In the meantime, you got to worry about TJ with the torque bow. He'll send one flying, but either way, Rebel's going to be on the outskirts. It's going to be a big hold for TJ and Powerz. They are outnumbered.
That's a big down, but TJ is so close to the fight that he can't get this bow revved up. He has the active ready. He puts it away. He wants to have his shotty in this situation. Hops over, tries to get between his opponents. He's going to cause a lot of commotion, but his teammates will be able to clean up those kills behind him. 35 points remaining. Not enough to get the lead, but still a great hold for eUnited to cut that deficit. They were down by about 50 or 60 going into this hill.
Yeah, they've cut it quite a bit, and you mentioned it best, right? Rebel is a team that definitely comes out the gate swinging. They're ready to go, aggressive as they possibly can be, but then they start to get a little bit sluggish. Maybe, I don't know, I don't think complacent per se, but eUnited is a team that definitely benefits off of thinking through things and adapting to what the other team's throwing at them. And I think we've reached that critical point now where eUnited is seeing what Rebel's all about, and they're trying to capitalize. Great shot, though, from Demon. He'll take down Demise. Still, though, the pressure at an all-time high. He backs up, finds a corner to rest, but there's really nowhere for him to go. So this is a situation, I think, where he dies.
As he's playing his corner tightly.
Okay.
Oh, that was good. That was clean.
Yo,
he gets 2. I thought the meat shield ate the bow, and he was going to be able to get back into that fight. But Demon, staying in that corner, he did a lot with just a little bit of space.
Oh, yeah.
Ultimately, it's eUnited who are able to get into the hill and start collecting on his 60 points. But you see Rebel, they're being very proactive about clearing out the back spawn, getting these kills, but Demise is not going to make it easy on them.
Not at all. Demise back into the fight immediately. Pepper summons up. Kenny now with an off angle. Takedown 1. Doubles back for the second. And he will not be able to get him. That's going to free up the hill at least because now you only have Powerz who's there. And Powerz knows he's pretty much dead in that moment. Rebel collapses in, takes him down, and they should net at least 20 or so points off the last remaining 30 that is currently here. So good on them. Got to be thinking about next, though. eUnited seems as if they want to make this push once again to go in and at least kill off Rebel if they can. But Rebel, they don't want it. They're going to be backing off. I like this because now they're rotating for next. They're being proactive on the rotation, something they definitely need to do against EU.
Yeah, Rebel, they're going to move over towards next. I like to call that hill Tiki. It's in the top right-hand corner of your mini-map. Crack will be set up. I know he has a lot of support from the Crack gang in chat. But we'll see if him and the gang can get together. Them being Rebel to hold this hill, and they will get the lead back, but we'll see what they can do with this positioning. As you're seeing eUnited, they have all their lanes covered, and they're about to go on offense.
Sumuns full red, he's dead. Demise, oh, but look at Demon from the shadows, just like a Demon truthfully is, and he's not done just yet. Well, I guess he is. Powerz. I tried to set that up beautifully, Blaze, like you normally do for the Twitter clips. It just didn't happen. He ended up getting chunked. But cool, at least he got the two-piece before that. Crack in a close battle against TJ up ahead. Powerz is going to be to his left, and Crack is also going to be peppered to his right. You can't do a lot in those situations. The United had all their angles covered. I think this is where they finally take the lead back.
Yeah, they should be able to get it back in. You know, I feel like we're going to be going back and forth with this lead change all the way up into that 200-point marker. The way that both these squads have been playing as Rebel moves back into the hill. The bow will connect. That was a great hop over, so he didn't kill his teammate. Summon's able to find another. He stays alive, working the edge. This is all scrap time. Who's going to be able to rotate to next first? Player 7, he's getting a response.
Yeah, it's going to be Identives ready to go again. Rebel's been doing a wonderful job rotating early, and it's kind of saved them as a whole, but maybe a final break attempt. Demon's in the hill. Rebel continues to get richer. Demon has been playing lights out, man. And see, not in that moment. Now, you want to talk about lights out too? Demise. Like, Demise and Demon are neck and neck right now for MVP.
Yeah, they are. I'd expect nothing less out of Demise. He is one of our most consistent damage dealers in our league, and I'm curious where he is in the top 5 because I know he's in there somewhere. Okay, he's in that top 5 somewhere. Gotta be. But
for KDA,
no, just damage.
Oh, just damage.
Just
gotcha.
damage. Yeah, the best stat. Yeah.
I got a stat line for you. Hey man, if
find it out while I break this down.
You want it right now? I got it.
Yeah, go find it out while I break this down.
All right, ready? Break it down, man. I'm ready. But
okay,
you break it down.
All right, eUnited with the 4-man setup, okay? Look at the spread on the mini-map, folks, all right? You see how they send player 4 all the way out wide? Because they know that he can pull somebody out there, so he doesn't have to fight this, but he's confident off the right hand. But he may have made a crucial mistake letting his opponent get behind him and get between him and his teammates. As eUnited moves in, Gray down. Now they have to cover from the flank. TJ, good movement, but ultimately, it will be a team fight one for Rebel for now.
Very close. I'm really liking this, and I would expect nothing less, quite honestly, between these two teams. Again, they have a ton of history, not just organizational-wise, right? Name-wise, they have a ton of history, literally roster-wise, going all the way back to when we started the season off with the Pro League qualifier. So these teams, they've got history, and they know each other's play style. 178 to 167. Rebel coming back. United had the lead momentarily, but not going to be able to hold off to it. Something tells me that we're about to reach a breaking point where a team, whether it be EU or Rebel, is going to take a bit of a lead here, and it's not going to be as neck and neck as it has been. And normally we reach this point now where stamina starts to taper off a little bit, but who is it going to be? That was a great shot from Powerz, taking Sumuns down. Rebel members, that's 3 out of the way. This might be the 4th.
Taylor, find the top damage dealers for both these squads. For both the squads.
I got for both. No, I don't got that.
Yeah, for both these squads up until this point. Well, you didn't say it. Don't be mad at me.
I got the KDA stats from Hunter. All right, whatever. I'll go on. Okay. You just keep calling.
You was gonna go hit the dock up.
I'm hitting the dock right now. I got it.
All right. As we go to our second rotation of heals, eUnited with a 17-point lead. Now, they're getting pressed from the top end of the map by 2, but they do a great job getting that initial down, but the kills aren't there. The first nade will separate the players of Rebel, but they're in a great spot to get some kills. They being Rebel, they don't get the kills. Instead, it's going to be eUnited with the man advantage. They take out Crack, and they'll be able to force Demon away by just their presence alone, and he gets away briefly for now, but I think Kenny wants this kill. He runs into enemy territory, and so far, that is a great hold for eUnited. We were all tied at 180 going into this P1 of the second rotation, but as we rotate towards next, Rebel, they have to rebuttal now. If not, I don't think they get back into this map.
So I said, I don't know, I had a feeling that eUnited was or excuse me, one team was going to take a lead, and it happened to be eUnited. It's always tense until one team just starts to take away. I like the push, though, from Rebel in this moment. Powerz, good shot onto one. Not going to be enough. TJ now forced to buck up against one, or it should be three members from Rebel up ahead of him. Good shot. Sumuns rolls in. He's dead. Crack forced to retreat. TJ smelling blood in the water. He's going forward. It's getting testy, though. He will drop, but Demise is there for the pickup. You love to see the teamwork. eUnited in control. Now, to answer your question, I don't have an answer just yet.
Okay, I'm cool with that. That is an answer, right? You not having an answer is an answer for me, but I probably could have quickly got the answer faster than you.
Well, Blaine, why didn't you do it then?
Because you said you had it. I let
That's
you
true,
have
I
it.
did.
All
yeah.
right?
I
Just
had the
like
KDA stats, not the damage done, man. You threw me for a loop.
It's all good. Now, when it comes down to the damage right now, eUnited is putting it out, Taylor, all right? And we're watching Demise. We just wanted to confirm something we already know, okay? He got 16,000 damage right now, 18 assists, plus 2 on the board, and his whole entire squad trying to give him the torque bow if they can. But, you know, he doesn't even rock the power weapons like that no more because he's such an anchor everywhere else on the map. He lets everybody else do it.
Nice shot from Powerz, 274 and counting. Rebel starting to fall behind. I don't think they're going to be able to come back into this one, but at least for eUnited, they can't win off of this next hill. If I'm them, I'm rotating out, but honestly, where can you go? Powerz, he can't get away because Rebel is hot on his hills. He doubles back to try and take down Sumuns. Not going to be enough, and Rebel will at least apex 200. There's still a chance, though. There is still very much so a chance, but eUnited is so close. Rebel needs to be aggressive and relentless on this next retake because eUnited has the next hill surrounded. They're defensively set up, and it's going to be in play in just a couple of seconds.
All right, now, ooh, Demise, he gets that down. It's going to be a man advantage for eUnited on the map as Rebel, as they're trying to get control over these back spawns. TJ almost took one to the grave. That would have been really problematic there for Rebel, but instead, they can use their numbers now, but they need to use it quickly to be able to get these kills. Kenny will push out. And you know what? Rebel really never kind of had the numbers that they needed to push into that hill. They had players, but as far as positioning goes, it wasn't there. eUnited will be able to close out map number 1. It was the second half where they was able to show that consistency, lock in those final few hills and come out on top.
Powerz, your MVP. I said he was going to be impactful here, and he truthfully was. Great job on his part. 20 kills, 14 assists, 18k damage done. The most damage being done by Demise. You already knew the answer, Blaze. He actually takes the cake. Well done. And I do got to ask, maybe you have an answer. In terms of that breaking point, we see 170 to 170. We're tied up, Blaze, and then eUnited just started to take a lead. I mean, there was just no comparison from that point forward. Where was the breakdown for Rebel?
Well, when it came down to it, the breakdown for Rebel, it happened in a few different spots, okay? You know, Rebel, up until that 180 marker, they were there, but they could not get control over that torque bow hill. Once that didn't work out for them, we rotate on over towards P2. Rebel, they made a play for that back spawn, but you saw that double down that happened. Once that double down came through, eUnited won that fight. They held off, won a second fight, rotated early for next, and they closed out the map. They said that was it. That was done. They took it over. But, you know, for Rebel, like, up until that point, they played good.
Oh, yeah.
They truly did. It's just that eUnited, they finished off stronger. And we talked about it coming into the series that I was scared that Rebel may suffer to kind of like what Elevate suffered in that last series, being able to close out the match against eUnited and being able to stay consistent toward the late game. That's scared from us.
3 people gave him a big fight, though, and that was Powerz, Demise, and TJ. And in regards to why I'm saying they gave him a big fight, caps and break-wise, plus OBJ kills, objective kills, right, being inside the hill, guys, Powerz, Demise, and TJ were absolutely incredible. You compound that with Kenny's 19k damage, the most for eUnited as a whole, right, having those crosses and just being overall a nuisance. It was tough to break these hills at a certain point in time. For Rebel, you know, I'm looking at OBJ kills. The one that led the way was actually Sumuns, so he was finding the most success inside the hill itself, but Crack had the most damage done. Demon was just behind him. But as a whole, though, I mean, getting on the cap or getting those caps, getting those breaks, eUnited, especially towards the tail end, once we reached that 170 breakaway for eUnited, there was really lunch for Rebel, which is quite disappointing. This in a lot more one-sided than I was expecting it to.
Yeah, nah, it ended one-sided, but it was close up into that second rotation.
Up until
right?
Exactly. Right.
Yeah, you know, and that just really United, you know, one thing about this squad is that the longer you play them, the better they get, right? So in longer series, that's going to be hard against eUnited because they're learning after every single team fight, after every single rotation, as they're getting a feel for you and your squad's pace. They're also actively trying to counter you. So we saw it in map number 1. As we head on over towards Tomb Execution, Rebel, they have to come out to a great start. They have to get these first bloods. They need to be aggressive and force eUnited to have to play into their hands.
Yeah, Crack is going to be a big influential factor here on this map. Demon obviously going to be doing his things when he's fighting for the Torque, which I'm trying to remember Rebel playing this last, and I want to say there was no emphasis on the Torque bow at all, and it was just a straight up 4v4 mid, and I believe that was against Elevate, and it didn't help Elevate at all when they played on Tomb. Rebel did a good job winning that big mid engagement, but once they have a player breakaway, which I'm assuming eUnited is definitely going to be sending TJ or somebody over for the Torque bow to be opposite of Demon, Kenny is going to be the guy they have to shut down because he is going to wreak havoc in this mid fight. We already saw the damage done from him on Ritual. It's going to be equally as strong here on Tomb, so Kenny is the guy that I would isolate and try and take down.
Yeah, he is a good one to focus on. You take him out the fight, and then from that point on, just isolate everyone else, around him. Rather, if it's you focus on him towards that middle portion of the map, you can cut back and put your numbers there towards the bow, or quickly trade them out there towards the mid map and pick up that kill on I want to say TJ and Powerz, over there towards the snipe side of the map. And so we'll see what they do. We'll see how it gets played. But I will say that for eUnited, one key to success for me, I feel like if they can really just lock down these power weapons, right? Just because Rebel's going to be aggressive for them off the start. Demon's going to try to make some plays for Snipe. And also, too, after coming off that last map, you can almost expect Rebel to try to make some risky plays to start this map just so they can get off to a good start.
Right.
They're going to want to play it with a lot of confidence. If eUnited has good sight, they will play this a little bit passively and see how Rebel wants to start this map. And eUnited kind of starting from a defensive stance could be beneficial for them, knowing their opponent is in a difficult spot.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm looking at round 1 for Rebel, just a full send straight forward. Like they got the aggression, they're feeling confident, they know their ability to slay out is there. They're going to be in the face of eUnited. I would love to see EU, kind of eat that up, back step, or at least take a step back, Lancer out, and take them down. Again, that's why I put a lot of emphasis on Kenny, because I think he's going to see right through that. He's most likely going to be expecting Rebel to full send straight ahead. Now, the question is, if Rebel doesn't, is eUnited going to make the first move? They might get antsy and do so. I would be looking at Powerz to be the tip of the spear, right, to make that first move. Maybe they wait for the 1v player to make the first move if it's TJ. Yeah. So there's a lot of things that could happen here. The IGLs are truly going to be instrumental in the success on Tomb.
Yeah, no, they are. And they're going to have to, when they make these call outs, their teammates are going to have faith in their call outs and do what has to be done. Sometimes call outs get made, but the plays aren't made quick enough around them. When it comes down to IGLs, they see a play in real time. And by the time you process what they say, that play can be gone. Right. That's just how Gears is, right? That play could be out the window because you wasn't listening and you wasn't quickly able to react. So IGLs have to take over the mic and we'll see what they could do.
It'll be a fun one, guys. Map number 2. United leads 1-0 in the series after winning the first map control Ritual 300-204. Rebel fans, you need an answer now. This is going to be a big win for them if they take it, because not to mention we have Training Grounds coming up next, where Rebel has to be the favorites. eUnited have been looking lackluster there for quite some time. So this is going to be a map that Rebel, I think, or Training Grounds will be a map they can take. Let's see how Tomb is going to end up working out. Off the rip, eUnited already getting Powerz dropped off as TJ is forced to try and get the pickup. He can't. And now it's going to be a 2v3. Even so, despite Powerz' unfortunate circumstance, it looks great. And TJ will take down the remaining 2 members. Talk about blazingly fast. Maybe we were right. Rebel looked as if they were aggressive off the rip.
Yeah, they were aggressive, and United played into that. You know, a big double kill from Demise down low. Kenny got 4 assists that round. He supported Demise for his double, looked to his left, and then supported Kenny for his double. Sorry, TJ for his.
Yep. All right, round number 2, Blaze. See what's going to take place in this regard. I'm looking at the 1v, so we have no. See, again, not going to be any 1v. So last time, like I mentioned, Rebel played against Elevate. It was a full 4-man push for this mid fight. We're seeing it once again. Both teams stacking up, not caring about the torque bow at all. They want that first pick. Powerz will get the sniper. It still is a 4v4. No blood has been shed yet, but the fact that Powerz gets away with the sniper is going to put a ton of pressure on the players from Rebel, especially if they try to go for the torque.
The snipe is lined up. He just needs a body shot. Doesn't get that. Rare sight on screen. Now, Identities is able to get away. When it comes down to it, still a 4v4 on the map. Powerz is going to be the focus here of Crack soon. Kenny's able to get first blood. Wow. Powerz misses that next, but he will not miss that shotty shot as eUnited closes out the round.
That wasn't the cleanest round, wasn't the prettiest round. Powerz missed quite a few shots, but like you mentioned, you know, pulls out the Nasher, gets the kill, and then ultimately Demon, he ended up going for the torque bow. He got his hands on it. He tries to retreat, but he ends up getting mowed down, and I think that was by TJ, if I'm not mistaken. So great adjustment from eUnited, who controlled the initial, and from that point, Rebel struggled to have a game plan about how they were going to retake that control for their favor. So are we going to see much the same this time around? It's looking like it, but we might have more emphasis placed on the torque bow. And in fact, Demise is going to take advantage, and he gets his hands on it uncontested.
I like that cross from Demon, but he also knew that his 1v1 was crossing, and that was the opportunity for him to be able to pick up that sniper. Great kill for him, but it's going to be 3v1 with Demise being left alive. He does have that bow, but with one shot left, he needs to connect, and it's going to be just a little bit too difficult, especially not 1v3 on Tomb. But I will say this, consistently, he has been winning his 1v1 down low in that lane. I feel like Rebel just have had better mid presence.
Yeah, well, they have better mid presence there because they recognize that. Yeah, because Demise broke off and he got the torque bow uncontested, and that was because Rebel was still trying to meet eUnited head on in that 4v4 fight for the mid control. But once they saw Demise break away, they knew they had presence in mid. That was when Identities and Demon felt confident to get their hands on the sniper, and then Identities ultimately collapsed in on Powerz. And after that, right, eUnited knew where Demise was at. They just had to take down the remaining members, so it worked out. eUnited this time around, though, Blaze, they go back to the 4v4 fight, and that's where they were finding success, and that's where they were once again be successful, and they lead 3-1.
And so to kick off that round, we saw a beautiful focus there from eUnited. I think it was Demon was the focus. Powerz goes in, connects on the back A. As soon as that down comes through, they quickly start focus firing that POW. They get 2 downs. At that point, it's a 4v2 on the map. If anyone runs for that POW, it's over for them, and they close out the round.
All right, so this time around, Demise is once again going to be going to the right. He sees Sumuns. Basically what he's trying to do is swing that angle to see if Sumuns is going to be going for the torque bow. If he knows he's going mid, okay, Demise now, he knows where his focus needs to be. But Rebel has a lot of pressure onto player number 8. Demise is getting isolated. Look at this Wolfpack from Rebel. They are intense, but Powerz has the sniper, and nobody dropped from eUnited despite Rebel pushing 4 strong onto Demise. So this is an opportunity for eUnited to slow things down once again and pace it out. We have torque bow and crack hands, and in Powerz, he's got the sniper.
Yeah, Demise staying alive there was crucial, and he had to take a creative route to get out. Ooh, Powerz had the snipe lined up. Crack, 5 bowls in the chamber, in the quiver. As they're looking to try to take some up top control, I think this neutral hill will end up there, but the quick revive comes through for Rebel. They are able to cross out and take Kenny, but no one else is up top to help Kenny out. The nades are still there as well. They're picked up for Rebel, and they're in a winning position unless Powerz can get at least 1 headshot in this fight.
Oh, nice. Good shot on the Crack. Crack is going to drop. Identives looks like he wants to go for the pickup, but it doesn't matter. The nade will take down Powerz, and Demon will get up in the grill of TJ and take him down in return. A lot of moving pieces there. That was the longest round we've had yet, Blaze. Rebels Wolfpack onto Demise did not take him down. Demise stayed alive. Great play from him, but at a certain point, Crack with the connections on his torque bows, and then ultimately that nade from Identives just really put eUnited on the back foot. Good job, man. That's a round for Rebel. They keep it close.
Now, as we head here towards the next, Rebel, that last round, they had to switch it up and really kind of send their numbers towards that bow side because they realized that they wasn't having much success at snipe. 3v3. Demon looking for one more shot with this bow, trying to catch Demise running away. He won't be able to. He will be focused for a bit. Gets out, but now he has to worry about that sniper across map.
No one has it just yet, though. No one's been able to pick it up. eUnited definitely have men there, but they just haven't doubled back to get it. I think Kenny's going to be putting his hands on it, and he does. So now you definitely have to worry about it. Oh, that shot was clean, it seemed like, but Sumuns gets away, and in fact, we'll miss another shot. Demon's got nades and a torque bow. Only one more arrow remaining, however. But if he connects and brings it to a 2v2, especially with nades, well, eUnited could be in trouble here.
Not with those nades being tossed that early, they won't be.
Yeah, that was really premature.
Yeah, granted, you want to find a kill as soon as you can, but there are going to be more high percentage opportunities for you to be able to connect with one of those nades. And if you got two, even better chance to put them in a good spot to trap some players and separate your opponents to possibly even isolate a 2v1. But the sniper in the hands of Kenny is looking for the revive on his teammate, connects with a body shot. His teammate goes down. Demise will get the down from behind, and they stay composed. It got scary for a second, but Demise got there at the right time.
Yeah, I get the idea from Demon. He throws out the nade early, and he's wanting to reposition, I think, Demise, who was on the steps. And then once he's repositioned, Demon felt confident enough to connect on his final torque bow shot. He kind of whiffed it, right? He threw it, it hit that bit of cover, and then it doubled back and went right into the divider of those stairs. It had no impact whatsoever. Maybe if he throws it a bit deeper, repositions, Demise, yeah, I think it's a good connection, but it was just a bit of a whiff. Little plays like that, right? I mean, can absolutely derail your entire plan of taking a win. I like the cross from Powerz. Unfortunately, he has to back off it. Sumuns, you got to hit the shot. Taking that first blood, or at least getting that kill, that trade is big. Now Powerz, he's forced to retreat. eUnited in a bad spot.
A very bad spot. A very bad one. They'll lose that round, but hey, they already got the lead. They got themselves off to a good start on this map to be able to have that one round cushion, and we'll see what they do going into the next. TJ is the top damage dealer on this map so far with 6,000 to his name. And, there towards that last round, it got chaotic in the middle, but, Sumuns being able to get that first blood through the smoke was huge. And the quick turnaround for the damage worked out very, very well for Rebel. And now a quick first blood from Powerz, but he's going to go down and make this a 3v3 if he doesn't get revived.
Kenny's able to get him back up. Crack, he wanted to get in there, but a bit antsy, puts himself in a tough spot. He's taken down. Sumuns can't get anywhere, and eUnited puts themselves on map point. One round away from leading 2-0 in the series. We highlighted, or at least Ribs was highlighting earlier, Kenny's stats. I don't know if you caught that, Blaze, but 10 assists, right? 7K damage, and that's what makes Kenny... Plus, he's got 5 kills, right? So he's actually one of the leaders when it comes to kills. So, for Kenny, again, that's why I put a lot of emphasis on his mid presence on Tomb. He really opens up a lot of possibilities for his midline players such as Powerz or maybe even TJ to make some big moves.
Yeah, he's playing like 5v5 Kenny with a 5.0 KDA and 4 players on the map. That's kind of smothering, okay? That's a great performance from him. He's doing a lot. Now, Powerz, as he's looking to move in against Crack. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, Demon should have definitely got that kill. He had full range to do it, and Powerz will take down Crack. That's 2 now in this round alone, and Identities is by himself. And, well, I think we all know how this story is about to end. Well, maybe not. Identities has pulled off 1v3s in the past. Nades out. Powerz goes for the snipe, but he gets away. And now Identities, he has nowhere to go. And Powerz, he'll clean up his 3rd one for that final round. And ultimately, eUnited will win 6-3 and lead 2-0 in the series, forcing Rebel to come back in a big way. We need to see a lot more from them. And I know chat, the 49% who, or excuse me, the 51% who ended up going for them, they want Rebel to come back. But it starts on map number 3, and that's going to be Training Grounds Escalation. It'll be coming up after this break. And welcome back to Gears Pro League Split 1, day number 9. We are midway, or at least 2 maps down in our second series between Rebel and eUnited. eUnited takes a 2-0 lead over Rebel. This tomb here, they pretty much controlled through and through. Rebel was able to sneak some rounds in, but overall, there was never a point where I didn't think that eUnited was going to lose this map, right? Rebel wasn't able to take that much of an advantage, and Kenny and Powerz definitely carried the torch for eUnited here.
Oh man, they truly did carry the torch for them. And a lot of those big plays in which they created mid-map was crucial. You got, I want to say, TJ's playing a snipe lane, Demise is playing that bow lane, and then Kenny's and Powerz is playing off each other mid-map, deciding who they want to focus. You know, Kenny knows what plays Powerz can pull off based off his movement. So, you know, they set each other up for some good ones there. And we saw that aggression from Powerz, focusing on Demon off the start. I got them off to an early lead, and when eUnited has that lead, they're feeling comfortable. Hey, for the most part, they always come out on top with the map. Now, Taylor, we was talking multiple times about the top damage dealers so far in the series, and just where does these 8 players fall in the league? And we actually came across some interesting numbers.
Yeah, go for it.
So I'll explain it, right? This is what's interesting to me. When it comes down to damage in our entire pro league, Rebel has 2 players. I want to say, just doubling down. Yeah, they got 2 players in the top 3. They got Crack and Demon. Okay, off consistency, all game modes. Demon is up there, 15K on average. Crack, 14K on average. Zysho right between them, Monkeys and Raver below. That's a lot of damage in which they're putting out. But on the flip end, eUnited, Kenny is the first one for top damage for his team, but he doesn't come into the top 24. Okay, he comes in at position 24. But eUnited, how are they? The entire squad is putting out below 24 damage in the league, but they're where they are right now. Well, the rest of the team in KDA is in top 3. You know, they got 3 players in the top 4 for KDA. So what does that tell me? Sorry, guys. What does that tell me about eUnited? That tells me that they're working smarter, not harder. Okay,
sure.
They're not getting into a lot of drawn out maps, a lot of drawn out team fights. They do just enough to win the fight, get set up, and then get ready for the next. And with them taking the fights as cleanly as they are, I'm not surprised that they don't have a lot of damage points out there as a team. But KDA, the assists and the kills are there.
They're precise. I think that's the big takeaway, right? They're very precise in what they're doing, and I like that. They're tight-knit. They know exactly what they need to do. Like you mentioned, get in and get out of the fight. That's what makes eUnited very scary. But also, if you were, I mean, you know, it's a double-edged sword in a way, and I pose this question to you. If their damage isn't as high, now granted it's because they're finishing up this series quick enough, but do you think eUnited starts to maybe, you know, fall a little bit behind the longer the rounds go?
Nah, I don't think so as well, because the thing is that, like, eUnited is gonna, you know, this is the squad where we called it the eUnited special, the UIU special, like this squad for so long, because they always made so many perfect pushes in the late game to win these maps. When you make perfect pushes and you just gotta put up, you know, 2,400 damage to win a team fight and win the map, that's it. Because of their positioning, they'll win one fight, get a trip cap domination, and go on over towards the next round. You know, they'll win one fight, set themselves up to make the next team fight that much more difficult for their opponent. So even if they get themselves in a late game, they're still going to always set up for that perfect fight and try to find that scenario, and that's what makes them so scary.
All right, well, here we go. We're getting into it. Rebel should be the favorite here. eUnited's been struggling on TG for whatever reason, and I can't, you know, distinctly say. I do know Rebel might have a bit of an advantage on that Overlook fight with their slaying power, but eUnited, despite being down 2-1, are roaring back, in Kenny will take down Identives and Demon over in that deadly corner, and eUnited says, well, let's take it all here if we possibly can. Rebel now has to just get a touch and fly through. eUnited going in for the domination. Sumuns gets there, but unfortunately can't do much. And now it's up to Identives to throw his hat in the ring, and he's going to get put into the blender too. And just like that, Demon goes and puts himself in the corner and says, I'm not even ready to fight that. 1 minute and 1 second. That's how quick round number 1 was. United will take it.
Yeah, good job to them. And, you know, that's a great example. You know, you win. How many kills they picked up? All they had to do was pick up 5 kills that round to get that dub out. Okay. And they can do that over and over. And they can have a low damage scoring game, but that score line is say 5-0. And that's all they care about, right? That the map comes out victorious for them. Great start from Kenny. Great start from Powerz. Great support from Kenny and TJ. 3 assists apiece from them both. They were able to definitely support him and help get that job done. Get the job done to start the round. As that's the core 3-man for this team right here, right? That's the 3-man team that you're gonna see in every single team fighting. Either one of them can pop off.
All right, big 3v3 once again. 1v spot's going to be played from Demon and Demise opposite of each other. Demise has been playing incredibly well, so has Demon, so that's going to be an interesting one. But either way, both players want to see how this Overlook fight is going to pop off. And, well, things are looking a bit rough around the edges for Rebel, but they come roaring back. Kenny's going to drop. TJ now is looking at a wall of Rebel members ahead of him. And on the neutral hill, Demise has died. So Rebel looking like a flawless start, just about anyways, but eUnited holding their ground, it seems, and they fight back, and they at least will win Overlook. So they won't get the 2-1, but they get the embark, and they do have an opportunity to come back into this fight, much like they did in round 1.
Oh, they was able to get 1 kill. They will get the second. The third hops over for free. So great job to eUnited to clean that one up. And now with an AC capture, they will be moving in for that trip cap domination. Now, if we reflect on this round, I felt like that initial was going to go in favor of Rebel. Demon won a big 1v1 at B. 2 kills came through over at the Overlook side of the map. But in the end, Rebel could not get control, Taylor. Now, I will say this, that one thing is I do like about their team comp on this map is that they let Demon play the 1v1 spots. And with him playing those 1v1 spots, he knows that he can get aggressive, and he needs to be aggressive for his squads to be successful. And, we saw him, I think he won the last 2 1v1s against Demise, but it was the team fight on the other end of the map that wasn't coming through. So if Sumuns, Kraken, Identities can just stay alive long enough for Demons to win that 1v1, that'll put Rebel in a good spot to be able to possibly get this round 3 in for them.
All right, here we go. Round number 3, Embar fight underway. Powerz is going to be the tip of the spear, not meeting anybody just yet because Rebel, they're going to take the U up top, and that's going to make things a bit standoffish for the time being. Crack looks like he wants to make a move, but he doesn't. Sumuns throws utility out just to distract Powerz for the time being. Player 4, Demise, instead of worrying about B, he's actually laying down the cover fire. eUnited wants to prioritize and win this engagement up top, but maybe running into some trouble. There's going to be a trade. Crack, though, is going to fall, but he's back into the fight. Kenny forced to back all the way out. Powerz got the inbar. That's what he wanted. So they'll give up the Overlook to keep Powerz alive and then ultimately try and push Rebel back.
Enemy targeted.
And so they have been able to push Rebel back, but Powerz with the inbar, he's going to give his team a little bit better opportunity to get some control on the map. Now, Demon has been playing his spot fantastically, capping the B hill, putting pressure on Demise, not allowing him to come down for free. And Demise was just waiting for his teammates to come off respawn and for them to get into a better position. But he's going to have to be a playmaker on this side of the map now, as Powerz has the M-bar above him. And this B hill needs to get decapped soon. eUnited may actually play for the up top fight. They don't even want to go to B. They may go for homes.
Yeah, wouldn't be a bad thing. I mean, they've been... Oh, nice shot, man, on the crack. Did he connect that? I thought it was a head too, bro.
Teammate.
Gee, well, if it's his teammate, man, thankfully it wasn't a headshot. But either way, it gives the United the confidence to continue to push up. It's going to be a 3v2. Actually, what is this? Player 1 and 2 back all the way up to allow TJ to just fight this by himself. Feeling the confidence, I guess, with the inbar to help out. But that's super interesting that they allow him to be by himself despite them having numbers there. I'm actually curious what that play call was. Because Powerz and Kenny were with them. Powerz was at least. I know for sure. I thought Kenny was with them, and then they backed off. Unless I'm totally mistaken.
No. You're right, because Identities was pressed across the other end of the map at B, and Demise, I have to say, is so annoying playing his position only because he won't fight it, but he's okay if somebody chases him towards his side of spawn because he knows that player's out of position, and he just lets his teammates work the rest of the map. And so because a player of Rebel got so far on that side of the map, they had to back up. But Rebel wins on 1. They need their home hill, and they will have their home hill. And they're going to also have the B hill as well. So, off the back of them playing the top hill, I guess I want to say maybe a little bit more passive. Sure. They were able to win that round because Demon capped up B in the first few seconds, and that got Rebel to lead. So they were from a defensive standpoint.
Right.
And they were able to take the fights in which they wanted.
Yeah, because Demise wanted to help the cross. He wanted to help the players in Overlook. He wanted to lay down that cover fire. That's what he was doing. He was comfortable allowing Demon to capture B. And if you go back to the first 2 rounds that eUnited won, they did so by allowing Rebel to get onto B first, and they were fine with that. Again, they wanted to see how that Overlook fight ended up unfolding. So Demise is not worried about Demon getting on B early on. He's happy with the fight right after that. Even though, one thing to take note of is Demise hasn't picked up a kill yet. So Demon has been dominating that fight, and Demise, even though he's getting his hands on B later on, it's because he's had help. So Demise isn't necessarily dominating the 1v1 despite him being annoying.
Even though he's, even though he lost the 2 1vs, Taylor, ultimately he's been staying alive most of the round, and I think that's where his value comes in, is having his presence on that side of the map. Now, as we kick this round off, Rebel has 4 in this area. They're gonna lose 1 on the flank. Identities didn't make it. Demise caps up the hill at neutral. 3v3 at the other end. If Kenny comes away with this kill, that'd be huge, but he won't. Rebel just needs to hold for now until Demise can get in a better position.
Oh, Powerz wanted it, but Crack was ready for that push for sure. TJ will fall shortly after, and Rebel will win a decisive fight on Overlook. eUnited, though, they do have the neutral, but they're going to be down whenever it comes to all hills, actually momentarily. Identives most likely not going to be able to hold his own here unless Crack does that exactly. Whoa, talk about a shot. Not only does the M-bar connect, but Identives was there to get the chunk. eUnited get their home hill back, but Rebel in a powerful spot.
And now Rebel, as they will have 2 hills to their name, the lead's going to change into their favor. 4 shots in the M-bar as well. Good body shot, misses the second. eUnited knows that they have to go on offensive, but now being down a man, Rebel's controlling this fight, Taylor. I like how they kind of backed out of this. They didn't need to stay too forward facing. They know eUnited was going to try to force that fight. But Rebel, they have a 2-1. They got a player in God spot, and they're building up points. They're in a great position. They just need not die at their home hill, and that's what they did not do. That's what they did do, not die.
Fair enough. Well, here we go. Godspot for Identives, laying down the fire. Kenny and Demise. Oh, wow. Do turn around, actually, and drop him. That's going to force Sumuns to push up into a misroll. You hate to see that. Now it's up to Demon to try and make some moves, and he will make some moves. Taking down 2 players. Demon's been so consistent tonight. Really enjoyed watching him play, getting that old Demon vibes, and Rebel will once again take the 2-1 back in their favor. They didn't even lose the point lead, so now it's going to put even more pressure onto eUnited to try and go big. And Crack, he's got the fresh retro, so that's definitely going to be helpful. Where's he hanging around at? Player 5, so he's actually going to be just down low, looking at any of the players to cross.
Yeah, he'll be up top in that
was he up top?
That heaven spot, yeah. But that's where he's in a great spot to have that retro. As Demon backs out, he's going to try to help his teammate with the 2v2 at platform. That Sumuns. They work together to take down Powerz. And he's left to kind of defend his home hill by himself. He knows he'll get pressed by 2 soon. So he tells his teammates they need to press on the other end of the map. eUnited successfully does that. Kenny, he's going to rotate to A. He gives players 7 and 6 the old Juki Juke. Gets the flank to help his teammates out on a home hill. And that was a great rotation. But if Powerz stays alive, Kenny's going to give another Juki Juke and get that cross in the back. But in the end, it didn't matter. That's Rebel taking a round.
There it is, all tied up 2-2. Going into the second half, the M-bar has already been fought for, and we're going to see that fight continue on unless eUnited places a sniper in hell, which wouldn't be against the grain for something they've liked to do in the past, at least to kind of counteract that fight up top where all the emphasis is placed. Demon, you got to go, and most likely going to go, no, they go Shock. They've been going Ensign, so Latin America's kind of been changing that up a little bit, but Shock is fair. And honestly, the Shock works better in this case because you know the fight is going to be for M-bars, so the Shock is going to be able to allow you to control the fight a little bit better.
And I will say, even with them having that Shock, that was a great round for Rebel to come out not having that advantage. You know, eUnited knows exactly what to do with a Shock in team fights and how to use it on an initial when their opponent doesn't have one. But that's a round lost for them, one in which they wanted to pull away with. Now in this team fight, 3v3, actually a 4v4 fight, it's going to be a flank at the underpass for eUnited, but if they lose members now, that flank may not get there fast enough. Shoots early, but Sumuns was waiting for him.
Waiting for them indeed. Rebels starting to heat up. They're looking strong. And eUniteds, they've got a lot of work ahead of them at this point. Rebels got all the momentum they need. Powerz in a tough spot. Trying to break away. Can't really get away. He's just forced to fight it out. But with the cover fire also helping him from across. No, he took down Kenny. That hurts.
It's unfortunate. He got backpacked. There ain't much you could do about that one. You can't even get mad at Powerz for that. He had 2 down in front of him. He went for a shot, but his teammate came in frame in a position in which, from technically kind of like the bottom of your screen and in a third-person shooter, you know, it's can get a little wonky sometimes. But this setup is real sound for Rebel. E hill, F hill locked in. They got player 8 in the middle of the map, kind of anchoring. Rebel's gonna need some extra help at the neutral hill soon. I don't think they got enough members on this side of the map unless they play for Holmes.
Might be trying to do just that. At least player the way that eUnited's. Huh?
Oh, never mind. Okay, this is cracked. Player 5. Demons behind him.
So eUnited's going for it all. I think at this point they're going for a domination, and the E fight looks to be going well. Demon just has to fall, and actually the F fight looks to be going well. Rebel is about to lose this round, Blaze. eUnited breaks up 2-2. They were committing everything. They knew the scoreline was getting out of hand, and the risk ended up paying off. And that is a round eUnited will take away from Rebel, despite them looking so strong for the entirety, right? For 99% of that round, but that 1% is what did them in the end.
And what did we talk about coming to this match? What makes eUnited so scary? Plays like special. That. Yeah, them being able to cover all lanes and say, you know what? We'll take a 2-2, right? We'll take a 2-2. We got all lanes covered. We know exactly what we got to do. You see a 2v1, you push it. You see 3 people, you hold and you wait for the flank, all right? And you know that you have to be aggressive. You have to be decisive. And when they know that they have to commit to the play, I feel like that's when eUnited plays at their best because they don't have to second guess it. They just got to hit a shot, right? And, you know, I feel like some teams, when they don't have good IGLs, when they're not able to assess the play, there's still a lot of confusions and moments where it should not be. Should I play up? Should I play back? Do I got time? Do I stay alive? Do I be aggressive? You shouldn't be thinking about that too much at this level. It needs to be instinctive.
All right, 3-2, eUnited wins a round that honestly Rebel was looking so favored on, but they lost the fight before on this initial. If eUnited can win the initial here, they could be honestly sitting a lot prettier than they were even in the last one. Crack, though, will take down TJ. That's going to reduce the forces of eUnited here. Demise trying to hold his ground as much as he could, but as he falls, now Powerz is forced to break down low with Kenny to help him out, but this strategy seems to be working, and now it's a 2v2. Powerz meat shield in hand, Pepper summons up. The fight for the M-Bar and E still underway. And matter of fact, did eUnited's commit one more player over here? They did. They've got the man advantage. Crack now pushes in, unabated. He's taken down, and Powerz gets the M-Bar. 2-1 hill advantage for eUnited. Rebel now forced to try and come back, and with 7 and 8 being down low, they might go for home to home.
Oh boy. Now, eUnited with the M-Bar in hand. We see the setup. They're actually able to see, I think they see 3 players on screen at least. They called out the ones on Heaven. They called out the guy rushing over. They let player 4 know that he can rotate back on to help his teammate out. But, you know, that was just too much of an overextension there from TJ. And Demise is like, brother, you got to wait for me here, okay? Got to wait for me to get there for us to fight together. He stays alive, and now it's up to Kenny and Powerz to be able to stay alive on this side of the map. Oh, Powerz is getting flanked. The call out is there.
Nice.
Great down for him. You see how he doesn't stop running? He puts himself in a safe spot for the revive. Oh, the meat shield is not going to come through for Kenny. He wanted the chunk. He stays in a fight. He keeps the damage on Sumuns. That's a fight to be won by eUnited, and they still have the 2-1 heal set up with the power weapon in the late game.
A great job from them. This is going to get scary for Rebel, especially if they lose this round. eUnited's going to be on map point, series point. Rebel now thinking of a plan. They're going to most likely have to break out 2-2 like eUnited did before and try and take the whole enchilada basically right here, right now. Powerz, good shot up close though onto Demon, and that's going to stop Rebel in their tracks. Well, really, it can't. They got to continue to push forward, right? You just don't have the time on your side. Identives down. Powerz is just going nutty butters, man. Just connecting on literally everybody he sees. Can we get a third onto Crack? Well, he misses the first shot. Crack, though. Crack, he knew it was over with. He just wanted to honestly play around with Powerz. It is what it is.
You know, he says, I double dog dare you to hit this shot, and he hit it. You know, he definitely did. 4-2 in favor of eUnited in this matchup against Rebel. They're looking good in a winning position now. How can Rebel come back into this one? How can they stop eUnited? I feel like Rebel needs to slow this fight down on this side of the map. The team fight isn't working out for him when it's too aggressive. But also, Demon can only do so much when he has to play against Demise, because Demise will just continue to play back. He will not give Demon a fight in which he won't. He doesn't give him the peace of mind, the pleasure to be able to make the play against him without running into his spine. And I think that's a great play from Demise, because as he does that and gets a call out for his team, they just push up. They flank, they push up. They understand that it is an open portion of the map. They'll go play for Holmes at that point if they want to.
It's very apparent that, you know, the best chance for Rebel to win is to win the initial. And, you know, case in point, eUnited wins the initial in the last round. Even though it was a long-winded battle, it truthfully was. There was, at a certain point, Rebel looked as if they were going to win it, and then eUnited turned things around. But then it just kind of came down and boiled down, obviously, to eUnited closing it out. Bit of a standstill here. Don't know what's going on. Got a bit of a technical pause, and it's actually Mike going to have a reset. Instance replaced in held, which I think is legal. But look, I'm no referee. All right, I'm just gonna it is what it is. We'll just see what takes place. Do have an update though, Blaze, not only for you but also for the viewers at home. Handles is currently streaming on his channel. He's streaming the matchup, Pioneers versus Oxygen. They're tied up 1-1. All right, so
I told you they'll get at least one. I told you they'll get
Oxygen,
one.
And they won the checkout execution 6-5. It was incredibly close. I've been kind of taking a peek on it. So now they're on Vaskar map number 3, and that's going to be a fun one that we might have a chance to watch if eUnited closes out the series 3-0.
Well, if y'all love Handles, go through his stream and show him some love for being able to stream that matchup for us from his POV. And he, you know what, you're going to learn a lot from his POV as well, how he stays alive in his positions and he's supporting his teammates. And, you know, it's pretty fitting because we talked a lot about 1v1 positions over these last two maps, over these last two series, actually, you know, between Gary and Dyslexic, between Demon and Demise. And, you know, you can go watch, I think you could see Handles possibly play against Rocky in those 1v1 spots on Vaskar. So, yeah, go give them a check out. Check them out. You know, they lost checkout 1-1 and show some support. Gears fam all day.
Yeah, Oxygen, a team that super curious to see how they're going to continue to perform. Because like I said before, they've been just out of this world. They've been playing so incredibly well. I'm trying to think. So yeah, E-Days, they ended up, who did they win first round? They beat Fire and Ice, okay. And then they beat, then they lost to Noble 3-1. That series, though, was very close outside of training grounds. We know Noble is incredibly strong on TG, so they beat them 5-0 on that map. But outside from that, like Regency, Reactor, Checkout, all incredibly close, and that makes Oxygen pretty scary. This Pioneers matchup is going to be very telling. I mean, I don't see them winning Vaskar, but if they do, hey, I mean, Oxygen again, they just continue to get better and better. But yeah, on Handles, give some love to the gear scene. You love to see, and they got voices on too. Not for everybody, but you can at least hear Handles giving the call outs, which is cool.
Yeah, that's good. You can never have the entire team's comms on. If you ever find a stream like that, it is a treat, but you don't want to put your teammates out like that because communication in game during the match is completely different than out of game. And players will say some things sometimes that just don't need to be on broadcast. Okay,
that's fact.
It's all in the call outs. Okay, it's all in the call outs. It's all for team morale. So
that's a fact, man.
Yeah.
I remember casting way back in the day, and we were going to be doing listen-ins, and the players were like, "Look, can we at least get like a red light that shows up when we know you're going to a listen-in, so we know when to, you know, censor ourselves?" And it's a good thing, you know. Because so, you said it best. It is different.
You know, when I used to compete, like I thought listen-ins were so cool, and I was okay with, you know, squads hearing our comms. But also, I knew that I would rather have the peace of mind of not censoring myself. And I just let people know, don't listen to us. You cannot blacklist my team. Blacklist my team on comms. I don't care. I'll talk to you in an interview. I'll talk to you pre-game, post-game. But don't listen to my comms because I'm going to say whatever I want. I'm going to talk like I talk during scrims. And, you know, we're going to go out there and we're going to win. We're going to win. So, yeah, that being said.
The only thing I don't want censored though is if, like, let's say LAN comes back around, man, the stage interviews between the two players, man, because those get fun, man. Those get really fun.
That's the thing is, like, it's like for me, like I will say that everyone sucks, right? Like when I'm competing against somebody, the entire team sucks. Okay, I have no respect for you.
Even the confidence of
Granted, that's not totally true. Okay, out of the game, I got mad respect, and I know who's good and who's not.
Right,
but I can't go into you. You cannot go into a series with that much respect for your opponent. You just can't. okay, knowing that they're better than you, everybody has to suck. Okay,
That's true.
If you want to be the best, everybody has to suck.
That's true. I mean, hey, got to keep that confidence up, man, and that aggressive pep talk or trash talk, whichever one you go for, Blaze. Because I know you were built different, man. You miss competing.
Oh, yeah, always. That's why I can't get off rank. Okay, hell, I'm always. That's why I can't even play casual games now. I can't play a single player to save my life.
Yeah,
I'll be playing a single player for like 30 minutes, and I'll be like, "Sure, I need some Gears King of the Hill in my life, some rank or something."
How bad is the trash talk though? Whenever they know they're playing against you.
I don't get a lot of trash. I don't get a lot of trash talk.
You just get a lot of love.
Gears. No, I don't. I do. I get a lot of love in the chat. I may get a few people humping me every now and then, but it's okay. I just hump them back.
That's Gears. It is what it is, man. You can't get mad at that.
The thing is that if you hunt me and you lose the map, it's over. It's over.
It's over. You gotta let them know.
You ain't gonna never forget about that one.
Yeah. Well, hey, they're restarting the game right now. I think they got at least last I heard 4. They're probably like 2 or 3. They should be about ready. A couple more rounds to go ahead and get that restart. I think it was the Ensign, if I'm not mistaken, being down there in hell. But so you just can't do that center line. Fair enough. Teams should know it by now. But if simple reset. It is what it is. And you know what? Honestly, could benefit Rebel. They were down 4-2. Now they can think it through, figure out what's going on. Sometimes when you start taking loss after loss, L after L, round after round, it's like a good little bit of a refresh. Time to just take it off and just talk amongst yourselves is a positive thing to do.
It is a positive thing to do, and eUnited is definitely the one team where you mess up those placements, you ain't playing that through. Okay, yep. No way whatsoever. And just to give clarity, you cannot in competitive play in competitive escalation have 3 incendiary grenades and 3 shot grenades on the map at any given time. Right. Because even if it goes down center line and you get 2, cool, right? Yep. That's great, but you can't put it on the home hills and have that possibility of having multiple like that, right? Or you're going to put them on the home hills, you'll have 1 apiece, but you won't have anything center line. And it all comes down to who makes that placement first. So whoever decides to put that weapon down kind of dictates if you have to build them up on secondaries or if they can go center line or not. And so we kind of see that happen a lot when it comes down to our secondary nades and the weapon placement for escalation. You get a little misclick here, or the opposing team, they just see what their opponent put down and they're like, yo, put it down center line. It's like, bro, he just put it down secondary. Like,
yeah. Oh, okay. What can you do after that, man? Who placed it first? Was it eUnited or was it Rebel?
I don't think it was eUnited, man. They pay. Yeah.
Oh, they placed it on home. Okay, fair enough. Well, either way, we'll be getting back into it, and the score should be the same. It will be the same. It's going to be 4-2. eUnited still 1 round away from taking the map and this series as a whole. And you know what? Something to take note of, guys. I mentioned that E-Days. It was the last time Rebel and eUnited faced off against each other a couple of weeks back. Not the last E-Days, but the E-Days before that, week number 3. And they won 3-0. eUnited did. So technically right now, eUnited's won 5 straight maps over Rebel. Rebel has yet to win a map over the past couple of weeks, and at least when they played against eUnited.
Ooh, wait. eUnited got their number. They got their number.
Clearly.
Boy, they says, we played you a lot in that Challenger series. We know what y'all about, but y'all ain't going to beat us no more, okay? And that's why I always say that eUnited is a squad that's going to evolve. The more times you play them, the worse it's going to get for you, all right? They're taking notes. They know what you do. They got a game plan for you. But even at that high level of gameplay, for certain teams, it just comes down to they know exactly what eUnited's game plan is going to be, and they got a game plan of their own. They don't care if eUnited knows what they're going to do. They know that when they see they fight, they're going to hit the first shot, and they're going to finish the fight off first. And so that's the energy in which they have going into those matches. And then from there, it's just damage. It's a chess match. It's a game of rotations. Who can get first blood, what the IGL is talking about, positioning. It's everything in which we love about Gears.
But chess match, man. I'm thinking about Kenny Big Brain over there, man, playing chess. I don't know how good he is at chess, but if Gears was chess, he'd be Grandmaster. I think he'd be Grandmaster at this point, okay?
Well, the question is that was he good at Gears tactics, all right? Because
that is the question. Colin would know. I'm sure him and Colin have been playing Gears tactics. Speaking of Colin, I think he beat Gears Tactics like 5-6 times. Actually, probably more.
He might have.
He's crazy, man. He loves it. I got respect. Yeah. All right. Finally, match is underway, guys. 4-2 eUnited, 1 round away from taking the entire series. See if Rebel can have an answer in response. Identives might be getting a bit sneaky. He's on the flank.
But will his flank come through quick enough? He will be able to find Demise.
Oh, he walked right up to him.
Through. Yeah, he did. That was a confident shot. But now the focus is on Powerz. But the thing is that the other members of eUnited, they cut back, they clean up the kills. They wouldn't have fight, and Demise actually never even died in the round. All right, Rebel, hey, it's over. You know, I don't like the way that fight happened. I didn't even think Rebel wanted to win this map at that point.
Trying to see player 8. Player 8 couldn't even get there. It's over with. Yeah, like you said, man, that's 6 in a row. 3 for today, 3 during the last E days. And eUnited looking stronger than ever. And Rebel continues to struggle over the past couple of weeks. I really do hope they find themselves when they head into the major. Powerz let them know where the door's at. Says, hey, you guys can exit right this way.
Boy, Powerz with 3 assists, 1,300 damage. The top dealer on the map. 5-2 victory for the man. So imagine. But eUnited gets it done. They finally close it out. It's official. And
official.
You know, at the end of the day, even if that last weapon placement didn't happen, I still think this ends in a 5-2. It's still a dominating 3-0 victory for eUnited. Rebel, they fought back a little bit, but it wasn't a smart fight. It wasn't a smart fight for them against eUnited.
Wasn't a smart fight at all, but Rebel did try, you know. But again, that's 6 losses now you've taken to eUnited. That's a lot, at least for me. That's looking like a lot of learning time. All right, there's a lot of lessons being learned, at least hopefully in the series. Make no mistake about it. Come major time, Rebel most likely going to be in fighting form. But for eUnited to get that victory, you said their record was 5-2. Now it's going to be 6-2, and that's going to break them away from, because I think they were not necessarily tied, because we got to consider map win percentages when you're considering a tie 5-2, but that's at least going to move them up the leaderboards, the rankings, I'd have to assume. We'll see the standings at the end of the night, but eUnited on the up and up, looking better and better.
And they are looking better and better. And so when it comes down to both these squads in the last matchup in the league in which they have to play, it's not going to be easy pickings, because eUnited, they still have to play up against, I want to say, PK. I know the flipping Rebel. Actually, yeah, I'll see what Rebel's matchups is. I want to say Rebel still has to go up against Noble in their series, so we'll see how that works out for them. But yeah, it's gonna be good to watch. And just to confirm, yeah, it's eUnited versus Noble, and then it's gonna be Rebel versus Rise. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, not going to be easy. Rise has been taking some L's as of recently, but I think Rise is still going to be the favorite in that series. Rebel, again, they're just struggling. They're struggling right now. It's funny, after the new patch came into play, I saw Rebel look the strongest they have ever looked. And that was when they played against Pioneers. But ever since, and I think the teams have I don't know if it's the teams adjusting per se, because I can never boil it down to one specific thing, right, as to why one team starts to struggle when they look so strong in a matchup. But, ever since that Pioneers win, Rebel hasn't been, the greatest. I don't know what it is. I mean, they beat Elevate. That was a good one. They beat them 3-1, but a 3-0 against eUnited is definitely what you expect. More of a close series when you're talking about Rebel and EU, or Rebel versus Pittsburgh Knights, when you start reaching that echelon. So disappointing, I would say.